What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the MMA Precap. My name is Peter at Petorius. Right there. There we go. We are covering UFC 298, Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. This is going to be such a stacked card. I am so excited. And today I got my first guest with me. Definitely going to be a recurring guest. He's a friend of mine, MMA fanatic, and apparently a former training partner of sorts. We used to train at the same gym, so he definitely knows his stuff. Let's bring him on. Rich White. What's up, brother?
Hey, how are you, buddy?
It's
great to be
man.
here, man. I'm excited about this. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It's always good. It's always a pleasure to talk MMA. It's always a pleasure to be on your show here. Man.
Hell yeah. Dude, where do we begin? This is such a sick card. I mean, you know, and you were, even before we got on the call, you were breaking down like the prelim card, because like, I mean, you know, all these people are gamers, and it's just it's so legit, man. So let's pull up the card right here. This is like pretty much the main card, so we're just going to do the main, and then maybe honorable mention at the end. We'll talk about one other one. But so let's start from the bottom, man. So we got,
let's do it.
Starting off the main card, we got Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. Yeah, man, let's break it down. So it's a middleweight card, and yeah, same losses. Who are you picking?
I love watching both these guys fight. I do. Hernandez, he's been on a tear. He's just when you count him out, he comes back. He's an amazing fighter. He's well-rounded. He's good everywhere. He's an incredible wrestler. He's got hands. Kopylov, also very, very good stand-up fighter. Not much ground game. So in this one here, I'm leaning towards Hernandez with some ground and pound, probably. So finish that fight right about the third round.
Okay. Well, I'm actually going Roman on this one. So looking him up, seeing, and so I can't actually show fights on here. You just have to go with me on it, or for you folks at home, you can do your homework yourself. But Roman, he does have a combat sambo background, so he does have a little bit of ground game. It's not, I guess, as present because he's such a good striker. But yeah, I'll give the ground advantage definitely to Anthony Hernandez, but I feel like Anthony is he's decent everywhere. Where we have Roman Kopylov being an amazing striker, he's so aggressive,
very good striker. Got 4 KOs.
Right? Yeah, so aggressive.
0 subs.
Yeah. So you definitely got to put that in a factor. So let's look at him real quick. So 32. So that's a good ripe age. Born out of Russia. So that's, you got to throw that nowadays.
If you can't pronounce his name, bet on him. That's the
with a beard. A beard. He can't pronounce his name.
But he's no beard. He's the baby face.
Yep. So that sweetens a parlay a little bit, right? Yeah.
He's got no takedowns either. He's got like a 0.4 percentage on a takedown versus Hernandez averages 6.8 takedowns.
Yeah, no, you totally got that there. Looking at his fights, he did look like he had some good takedown defense. His idol's Fedor, and he definitely lives up to it for that. So, yeah, that's a big factor we have there.
And he got Josh Fremd with a liver punch, my favorite. My favorite all finishes is the liver punch or the liver kick. Anything in the liver. I just can't get enough of that one. The little momentary pause and then the excruciating pain on their face. Nothing's better than that one.
Oh, yeah. When they shut down, they're like, I want to be standing. I could.
They shut down and completely stop. They don't want to fight anymore at that point. And it's like it's one of the most discouraging blows. If you've ever been hit in your liver, it's one of the most discouraging blows you can feel. I'd rather be kicked in the nuts.
Wow. Well, that's bold. I wasn't going to go that far, but that's important there. So let's see. We got, this is Anthony Hernandez record. And yep, he has a ground and pound finish, arm triangle, decision. Same with Josh Fremd. They both have a win off of him. And I guess it was they originally scheduled to fight. So, and this was, oh my God.
Right now? The Rodolfo
Yeah.
Vieira fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen.
That was crazy.
It was
Craziest
such a
upset
great
ever.
fight, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought for sure there was no way, but he just wouldn't stop. Hernandez wouldn't give up. That fight specifically is why I'm picking him for this fight.
Yeah. Well, so it's in his arsenal. It is in his arsenal, 100%. If it does become a ground game battle, then I will have to eat my words. But when you watch an Anthony Hernandez fight, he is trying to be more of a striker. He attempts to be a striker, and his submissions seem to be his plan B.
Hopefully not in this fight. You
Yeah.
don't want to stand with this Krylov guy.
No.
Kopylov, whatever. I can't, like I said, I can't. Say the Russian dude. I'll just call them all the Russian dudes.
Yep, Kopylov.
This is not the dude to stand with.
No, I mean finishes, man. Finishes on finishes. I mean, how can? Jeez, yeah, 4 in a row in the UFC. He ain't playing. And he liver punched Josh Graham when Anthony got a decision. Sometimes the MMA math of that doesn't work out, but in this case, it can.
Yeah.
So okay. So let me. I'm gonna do a little spreadsheet thing here.
Sure.
I'm gonna have both of our.
So I'm on record as saying TKO Anthony Hernandez on this fight.
And TKO.
Oh yeah, I ground and pound stop. That's my listen. My record sucks this year. I'm not even gonna lie about it. So some people might look at like take my picks, bet against them. You're gonna make some money. But I feel very strong in this one. I like Hernandez a lot in this fight. I think he turned a corner. I think you're gonna see a lot from him coming up.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Okay. Cool. So we got those picks. Let's go up to a crazy, easily could be main event fight. Merab Dvalishvili versus Henry Cejudo. I will let you take the floor on this. What is your take?
So, I got an issue with Henry
I'm
Cejudo.
with you.
I got an issue with Henry Cejudo, with his personality. He bugged the hell out of me with all his jibber jabber for so many years, trying to be special, trying to get attention, trying to play the game, that I overlooked his skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I think he's going to get his ass kicked, he kicks somebody's ass. And so it's hard for me to say this, but Merab is a very special fighter. Mm-hmm. This guy, they both are, let's be honest about it. But I got to tell you, I think the wrestling is going to nullify each other, in my opinion. I think Cejudo's the better wrestler, but I think Merab's a little younger, a little fresher. He's a little bit, his momentum's in his favor. You haven't seen a lot from Cejudo in the last couple of years, so I'm going with Merab. And I think it's going to be like a decision. I think he's going to win by decision. Or maybe we'll see an exciting knockout, because I don't think this fight's going to the ground.
Yeah, no, I that's kind of the thing that I was thinking too, is like to hedge your bet if you're really not sure on who, just saying by decision, the method of victory for anybody. That's kind of the safe bet there for me. And I'm going Merab as well. He has way more tools. If looking at the Aljamain Sterling fight, that was definitely to the casuals a very boring fight. But it was mostly just a very chess match type of game as far as grappling goes, and that's kind of what you expected.
Yeah, and there's Cejudo second to none. When you honestly, his abilities, he's got a gold medal. The guy's like, he's second to none. Let's be honest about his wrestling.
Right.
But that's what I always said about DC, and he didn't always come through with the wrestling, didn't always win him the fights. So I kind of take that out of the equation when you have a close to or equally skilled wrestler like Merab.
Yeah.
And now, how are Cejudo's hands? Like you mentioned earlier, he did a number on Dominic Cruz.
Yes.
I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah.
No, I've always considered Dominic Cruz one of the better fighters, like most well-rounded fighters in the history of the sport. I have such admiration for Dominic Cruz that was like a shocker for me.
Yeah. No,
and I'm going to go on record as saying that DJ beat Henry Cejudo. I think DJ won that fight.
Yeah, I got to go back to that. Yeah, I mean, with some of those flyweight fights, when it's split, it's like, man, it can go either way because they're all so aggressive. I have to look back at the one. I remember agreeing with that, but I mean, it might have been like a 3-2 round.
It was a close fight. Fight. But there was so much hype on Cejudo, like they really wanted this guy in there. And I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it too, but I remember specifically just being pissed off because I'm a DJ fan. I'm a DJ fan. He's local to us. He's our guy, right?
He is Washington's guy for sure. The AMC Pancration, man. He's
I got
that
people
dude.
at AMC, I got people up there that I'm friends with, and then he's friends with a lot of the West Coast team, like where we're from.
Yep, West Coast Fight Team represent.
Yeah. So that one. I guess maybe that's why I always root against Henry Cejudo. I don't know.
Yeah, and we got to factor in too is he did that in 2020. And I think he fought one other time. Well, let's look and actually.
Yeah, he's been calling out women.
Yeah, and you know what? Okay, here's the thing. Nickname Triple C.
He lost
triple
his last
champion.
Fight.
He's not a champion. He's not a 3-time champion. He calls himself Triple C. How can you not hate this guy? And you're right. With his antics, they're terrible.
Counting his wrestling. His counting is Olympics.
Oh, was he?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Who beat him last time? Oh, he lost to Sterling. He lost the decision to Sterling.
And so look, it's like, look, here's what you got. So you have 2020, and then 3 years later, he gets a law split decision to Sterling, which you think with how good he did against Dominic Cruz on the feet, he would have been able to neutralize with his wrestling Aljamain Sterling. But
now keep in mind that was an injured Dominic Cruz. He had been through surgeries. I think it was a knee or something. He had like multiple. He was coming back.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same Dominic Cruz. So on paper, that was fantastic. But
let's look even deeper now. Let's see. So let's see. Okay, no, this is when he came back. Yeah, this is when he came back from his
2014
his terrible knee injury, and then lost to Garbrandt, had that sort of slowdown happened, and then another 4 years. I forgot it was a dude. He had
that's what I'm saying.
4-year layoffs. God, that's crazy.
I believe that was kind of one of those setup fights where they're building up Cejudo, so they pick a name who has been through the ringer, but the casual doesn't know that. There's like Dominic Cruz, But no, I in this case, and he's already talking about retiring if he should lose this fight, which kind of tells me it's in his head that he's not going to get. In my opinion, Merab is the lock of the card. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we agree on both of those. That's good. Glad we didn't have a keep clashing, but who knows? It might still happen. So I mean that could be a main event card. I'm really looking forward to that. And honestly, if you are trying to build a parlay here, I mean if you're not sure on those, doing decision seems like a pretty good bet here.
Do we have the odds? Do you have the gambling odds on this?
I can look up the odds.
Okay, yeah. I'm curious. I'm sure Merab's the favorite on that one. He's probably like a minus 180 or something like that. If that's a pick 'em, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
I can see just the original screen.
Oh, okay.
I mean us and then the thing.
We'll pull that up afterwards. We'll do that. And then
is this 298? Is that the number 298?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 298. So let's see. We have Merab is minus 205 and Cejudo is plus 158.
That sounds about right. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I guess they're leaning it like that towards us. So that's good.
It's not too heavy, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if you have that up, what is that Kopylov Hernandez?
Let's see. Kopylov is the underdog. Actually,
really?
Exact same. It's minus 205.
Wow.
For Hernandez, Kopylov. Yeah. I mean, they might be really weighing in his ground game.
Yeah.
Hernandez's ground game, but
that would be the potential upset. I think. I don't know the rest of the odds, but I think if someone was going to pick an underdog on this card, Kopylov is the underdog to pick. I thought that one would be right on. I thought that would be a pick 'em. That one, in my opinion, is a pick 'em.
Yeah, as John Mariansky would say, you go for the dog.
Yeah,
go for the dog. Yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the mid section of the card. Geoff Neal versus Ian Machado Garry. I'll go first on this one.
Yes, please. I want to hear what you have to
say. Let's see. For this one, I went with Ian Garry on this. So the thing that helped me kind of make this decision was looking at Geoff Neal versus Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson, obviously kickboxer oriented. Ian actually is lanky and kind of moves in that same way.
They have the same reach.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't know that, but you can, basically by paper you can look at that. And Geoff Neal is really kind of a classically trained boxer. Hands of steel, Neal.
Got them Irish hands.
Fits the name great, but unfortunately is kind of too much of that, and I don't see him learning kickboxing defense in this amount of time. So yeah, going with him, I think Geoff Neal is possible to upset. Ian Garry does have some factors of the online online controversies with his, everyone clowning his wife and having those sort of things going on. So there could be some psychological issues that do come into this, but I think that'll probably fuel him in some way. I mean, he's really, he takes training seriously, and honestly, there's part of that online hate that makes me want to lean towards Geoff Neal, but I think as a betting man and somebody who knows the sport, I think Ian Garry's going to take it.
I agree. Yeah. He's got youth. He's got height. The reach is the same. So whatever. Machado, Garry, he's got this hype train about him, but he's also backing it up. He looks incredible when he fights. People, they don't want to like him because of the personal stuff, but just watch the man fight. He's incredible. He backs up everything he says. It's not just hype. He's the real deal. I'm not a big fan, of I like a better personality. Whatever the what do you want to call it? The theatrics of the sport or whatever. Geoff Neal doesn't really get involved with that. I respect that a lot. I like Geoff Neal. He's a good fighter. But I think that they're really promoting this Ian Garry. They're giving him, not that Geoff Neal's an easy fight. I'm just saying they're not giving him the toughest fights he can have.
Yeah, no, they're giving him a guy who is one-dimensional in that way, and we can all kind of agree that it's the hands that you have to worry about, and all it takes is a few good calf kicks. And
does he stop him?
Does he stop him? That is a good question. I have not thought about. In the higher, the pie chart, I think would be a big Pac-Man with the majority of it being decision and a slight chance of it being stopped.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'd go TKO though. I think I'd maybe go submission, Ian Garry. I think he would neutralize him, and I think Geoff Neal is good enough defense-wise to stop the strikes, but I think if I was to go finish, I think Ian Garry submission.
Yeah, or knock him out. I mean, he could just overwhelm him with his punches. He's got a wide variety. He throws everything. He's got body. He's got headshots. He's got kicks. The thing about him is he hasn't really shown us his ground game. He claims to be this perfect, not perfect, but this really great mixed martial artist. Maybe he's going to come in there and show us his ground game this time. I wouldn't be surprised if he beats Geoff Neal by submission.
Yeah.
But my money's on Garry for the win, for sure.
Okay. Good. Cool. We got that. We are in agreement. Well, all right. Let's get to the co-main event. Let's go to the co-main, the sexy co-main. Definitely rub your hands for this one, dude. I mean, this card is so sexy, dude. Honestly, man.
Bro, next three cards.
Every one of these fights, I'm going to be just standing, just watching these fights. So, Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. I guess I'll go first again on this. I'm going Robert Whittaker. I mean, there's too many stats that go against Paulo Costa, and some that might not make sense in the MMA math. But if you just look at, and you were saying this before, so I mean, as people maybe know now, we were talking for a little bit, just kind of brushing up on these and just seeing where we were on each one. But yeah, as far as Paulo Costa goes, is like his talk versus his results just kind of sway a little differently. And, when it comes to like his last fight, Luke Rockhold, who we all know was kind of on his way out.
How do you not knock out Luke Rockhold?
Yeah. It's like it's a decision. You really, it's like, if that was his last fight in the contract, like he might have been, that was really the chopping block as far as, it's like, dude, you talk way too much. You have canceled way too many fights to just decision someone like him on his way out and having the standing advantage. It's just not a good look there. And he's only been fighting once a year. So, and that's just talking about Paulo Costa. And then you got Robert Whittaker, who he is just coming off a loss. Let's take a look at his record.
But look at his loss. I mean, it was like it was a good fight.
Yeah, Drakus, man.
Drakus is, he's an excellent fighter. He doesn't slow down.
Showing his awkward style. And then you look at some of his wins where you go, Marvin Vettori, a gamer. You can say what you want about him. He can be kind of a boring-ish fighter who gets a lot of decisions, but he's gamer.
He's the exact same fighter as Paulo Costa. They're the same fighter. They fight
Thank you. And so then you look at that. So you look at that and you go, who has he faced somebody like Paulo Costa? And the answer is yeah. Look at Jared Cannonier, Kevin Gastelum, gamers. We lost to Izzy, but still a great fight.
That's Izzy.
Exactly.
In this fight, I'm thinking Paulo Costa is the bull, Whittaker's the matador. We're gonna look at and not only that, but without without testing anymore, they got rid of the what is it, the Asada or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a beefed up Paulo Costa coming in there, gassing out.
Exactly.
His muscles will fatigue, and you've got this amazing boxer in Robert Whittaker. He's not done yet. I don't think he's done yet. He's going to come in there and he's going to be dancing. He's going to be picking this guy apart. He's this pretty boy with the muscles. I think he's in for the fight of his life here. I don't think he knows what he's up against with Robert Whittaker. He's looking past him. I think he's looking at him as like an old time fighter that's past his prime. Mm-hmm. But I say, like you say, Whittaker's going to pick him apart.
Yeah. And let's look at Paulo Costa's record. So, yep, Luke Rockhold's canceled, of course, bastard. Losing to Marvin Vettori, Israel, all that. And, his last win, 2019, before Luke Rockhold. I mean, Yoel Romero, that's a good win. But, and then, the stat that everybody can't help but bring up, nobody in this is in the UFC.
An old Johnny Hendricks, he hasn't knocked anyone else in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he goes decisions with Yoel Romero, who is super old, and also gasses out. Whittaker doesn't gas out. Whittaker's got that gas tank that's going to pick it up at the end of the fight and just light him up. I wanted to say decision, but the more I talk about it, I'm still going to go decision Whittaker. I'm going to stick with my original thought. Decision Whittaker.
Yeah. I like it.
And that's a fight I want to see. And the reason I want to see that fight so bad is because I love watching Robert Whittaker fight. I love when he first started, his hands were always down. He had this boxing style where his hands were down. And it used to drive me crazy because I'm like, pick your hands up. But somehow he was able to move like no one else. He's got a very special style. Yeah.
He knows how to do it, man.
Kind of guy. And he's got that Australian toughness, or New Zealand or wherever the hell he's from, that island,
Australia,
that toughness that they have over there, that that's a certain durability.
Yeah.
That whereas Paulo Costa, I think he's just looking forward to the photo ops. That's what I feel about him. Photo op and he's looking. Same with Rockhold. I felt the same way with Rockhold.
Yeah.
These pretty boys,
Yeah. Oh no, definitely, man. I mean, he's gonna do his little secret juice thing, which is funny.
He's gonna come in there stacked and gas.
Right. And he's gonna just talk his talk. And I think you're right. I mean, if I was his corner, if I was his trainer in this, I would say fuck the muscles, stop with all that, just get lean.
Yep.
Who cares about the muscles? Just be in fighter shape. Be ready for 5 rounds when it's only 3. Just do not have any chance of gassing out and pour it on him. Exactly. I mean, that's what's going to happen. But the ideal, if we were, obviously we were able to train him. I mean, we're just people talking shit. But
look at me. Hey, listen to me.
Exactly. But at the same time, though, I mean, I think that's a great, thought to it. Is you're big, you're great, whatever. But I mean, dude, you can already knock people out. Don't worry about the muscles. It's like with Tony Ferguson and David Goggins. It's like, dude, you did not need to go through Hell Week Like
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
Your cardio has never been a problem.
Yeah.
Train. Just actually hit the mitts, do your thing, get your submission or whatever, and get back on the damn winning train, bro.
And that's what Holloway preaches. Like he doesn't spar. He talks about how he doesn't spar. He doesn't like to spar. And it's smart because he already knows he's got skills. He's got hands. Why get himself beat up? Why go through the torture? Go in there as healthy as you can possibly step into that octagon and last. Because the second you start beating your body up, you're compromising your game. And especially at their age, or like Whittaker, for example, he's no spring chicken. But if he can go in there healthy, he can rely on his skill set and not worry about his strength.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's 33.
Yeah,
he's 33, so he's still doing it, but it is on that leaning edge of.
He's a battle-tested 33, though. He's had some big fights. He's fought the best of the best.
Yeah, and so just going back to that of who he's faced that is any different from Paulo Costa, and I think he's fought the game plan already. He's already fought those people who are coming in with the Paulo Costa game plan. So, okay, cool. So we got that wrapped up, and now let's get it. The main event. Good God. Alexander Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria. I'm going to leave it to you. Who do you got?
I wouldn't touch this fight with a 10-foot pole, Peter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. In fact, when I bet, which I'm going to bet on this, I'm going to take all my picks. I'm going to parlay it. Like I said, I'm going to put $100 on it, but I'm going to make 2 cards.
$100.
Let's go. I'm going to make 2 cards, okay? I'm going to bet everything we've said before with Volkanovski, and then I'm going to bet a second card, everything that we said before with Topuria.
Oh,
because I don't know who's going to win this fight. Are
you doing 50-50 or 100-100?
Well, what are the odds on this one?
Let's look.
It's like
Let's look. So it's Volkanovski is the slight favorite, minus 128, and Topuria is 100. Which is
okay. So here's my thing.
Do it.
I kind of leaning towards Topuria. I know that's like crazy to some people, but he is on such a tear. His confidence. I mean, he's going in there with this blueprint on how to beat Volkanovski via Islam, but he's so aggressive. Volkanovski wins fights when he gets to be the aggressor, I feel. And we haven't really seen Volkanovski in too much vulnerability at that weight, but I've seen everything Topuria has been doing to people, and it's hard for me to pick Volkanovski. And another thing is this: when they came out on the stage and faced off, Volkanovski was wearing shoes this tall. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that.
No,
these giant shoes on. They were like the soles were like triple thick, and I looked at that and I thought, why would he do that?
Like the dad shoes.
Dude, super. I wish I had those shoes. I'm not very tall, but I mean, he was up there on stilts and he was still a hair shorter. So I think when they get into there, you're going to see a considerable size difference. Not to take anything away. Volkanovski's done it before against tall people. Max Holloway's pretty tall. But I think in this case, if I had to pick just one, I'm going to pick Topuria.
Okay.
But again, I'm going to mix it up. And I was thinking 50-50 because I thought that this might be one of those pick 'em fights. But yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll do 50-50. I'm going to do $50 all our picks with Volkanovski, $50 all those picks with Topuria. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I am going Volkanovski. So yeah, for him, I think it's kind of like, I mean, to me, it's sort of a Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa close, in my opinion, as far as, the thing about, who he's already fought and what challenges, new challenges Ilia brings. So
I'm curious about Ilia's history and with his ground game because I'm not familiar. I'm trying to think.
Doesn't really have one. I mean, so far that hasn't been shown.
Will Volkanovski allow himself? Because he seems to always want to prove that he can stand with a stand-up guy rather than exploit weaknesses.
Yeah. The size advantage will be a factor. I mean, for me, looking at this, beating Yair Rodriguez, if you were to face Yair and Ilia together, that's already a great fight. But the fact that, he did what he did to Yair is he's basically the Ilia to me, where I'm like, I mean, that's pretty close to what would happen.
I consider Yair more of a counter striker than Topuria. I think he stands on the outside, relies on range and like his kicks, whereas Topuria gets in the pocket and he likes to fight. Which we got 2 pocket fighters, 2 guys in the mix. When they get together, they're gonna be up in it. So I think that's the difference with Topuria versus like your Yair Rodriguez or your Max Holloways in this case.
Yeah.
I think he's got a different style stand up that we haven't really seen Volkanovski face.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of the reasons I was leaning towards Topuria on this one. I think that his hands are amazing. I mean, they both have great hands. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a boxer versus a brawler. But like not your typical boxer like a Muhammad Ali or a Max Holloway. I think that this is more of like a in your face fighter. Like this is going to be a fantastic fight no matter what.
So, yeah.
No matter
Either
what.
way,
we might get 5 great rounds. Obviously there's some great fights on the card. It's hard to predict fight of the night, but how can this not be the fight of the night? Even just on paper, looking at it, you're like, how can this not? This guy's been talking so much talk, this Topuria, about how nobody's more of a fan of himself than that guy. And he did he's pretty much walked through just about everyone, right? Like everyone he fought, he beat Josh Emmett, and Josh Emmett's a slugger, dude.
He's a slugger. And actually, I watched that fight, and actually that was where Ilia was very much a counter striker there. So they both have a bit of that in their pedigree.
He beat Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson's a fantastic wrestler. He beat Ryan Hall, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the game. So maybe his ground
nobody knew who Ilia was until this fight. It was like I remember being like, dude, I got Ryan Hall. I mean, what this guy can do to anybody, and man, he shut him down.
He's like that made of rubber.
Insane fight, man. But just for this, man, I kind of just see it being like, he's fought some people, but man, I mean, the difference of caliber that Alexander has faced, I think is kind of the difference maker there. He's just, I think he's going to handle the pressure better. I think he's going to, be the champ and take control of the fight. He's more well-rounded, and not convince you otherwise. Just here's what I'm taking there. I think, man, it's and honestly, I feel like, so here's something that, obviously last fight card, a lot of people had Joe Pyfer. A lot of people had Joe Pyfer because he was talking big game. He was saying that he's done everything in the world and that he was going to take on Jack Hermanson. And I looked at his record and I said, you have not beaten that many great people.
I was leaning on the fact that he's a ginger. I picked him because he's a ginger. I'm not going to lie. Gingers are tough.
That's true. They face some bullying and they learn how to scrap just based off that.
Oh, they're tough as nails, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So going let's see. Yep. Yeah, going Volk on that.
My picks were off last time. That's what I'm saying. Is like anyone watching this, you could listen to me. I would recommend you put some money against my picks. Just my record has been pretty lackluster the last couple of cards, but I feel real strong about this one. I feel like I'm on it this one.
Yeah. Here, let me pull something.
And I'll take anyone's money. Anyone watching this, I'll take
there
your
we
money.
Go. There we go.
Hit me up. DM me. Let's put some money on it.
Here, wait. Let me share screen.
I love that you're doing this.
Here we go. Here we go. So,
doing this, man, this is really cool to me. Like,
So here we got our picks right here.
Okay. Oh, you got what am I, red or blue? You got. Oh yeah, I'm.
There
red.
We go.
I'm
yep, you're red. I'm blue.
Oh yeah, we're the same except 2 fights.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So
now, here's another fight. Can we talk about one other fight?
Of course.
It's the DeLima fight. And what's the Samoan
Justin
dude?
Tafa.
And dude, I love a good heavyweight fight, man. I love a good heavyweight slugfest. This is going to be one of those fights that sucks after the first round, though. You're going to see an amazing first round. I can already predict this first round is going to be fire. and then it's going to suck for 2 rounds. You're going to see 2 gassed out big dudes. But,
if it doesn't get out, if it gets out of the first, it is going to be a little lackluster. That's for sure. And I mean,
man,
if you look at Justin,
I'm excited for that fight, though. I love watching that kind of stuff. This must be in Australia. Is this fight card in Australia? There's a lot of Islanders on this card.
That's a good question. Let me check real quick. Let's see. This one is in Anaheim, California.
Okay, I guess they got a lot of them out there too. I don't know.
Yeah,
home of Disneyland. Yeah, there's some good fights. I don't know if you want to pick out anyone there. The Mackenzie Dern, man.
Yeah, let's talk about that one.
Don't ever say nothing bad about Mackenzie Dern in my presence.
Oh yeah, is that your fighter wife?
No, I got my wife. I love my wife. I'm
saying fighter wife. I'm saying, hey, she's
the one. I always root for her. You know, I always root for Mackenzie Dern. But last fight, she looked like,
dude.
I mean, she looked so bad. Her stand-up looked as amateur as I've ever seen in a professional mixed martial arts bout. So in this case, put your money on Amanda Lemos. Like bet the farm.
Yeah, the house, the farm, the cattle, all of it.
That is the other lock of the card, in my opinion.
I mean, it was so crazy. It was so crazy to see how she did versus Angela Hill versus this fight.
Oh, yeah.
Was just night and day. Like when you saw her and Angela Hill, like everybody was betting the house on Mackenzie during that next fight, and then she just did not show up. And a lot of people think it was. A lot of people think it was the mental with her divorce. And you know what, the divorce too. She even said, if I lose this fight, everything,
all the money,
win or lose, all this money, has to go to her ex.
Yeah.
That weighs a lot, but you think that weight would actually
you're fighting to win a fight for the guy that's trying to get your kid.
Yeah, no, that was a grim picture, man. Really,
God,
I was hoping.
Yeah, we're always hoping. Yeah, for her. But Lemos is I hope this doesn't sound bad. She fights like a man.
No,
dude,
she's a beast.
And Mackenzie Dern, as great as her ground game is, her stand-up is like watching 2 girls fight. I explain this to hair pulling, and Lemos not so much. She goes in there and handles her business. She can throw those things, man.
Yeah, Lemos is a beast. Pretty much ready for a title shot. If she beats Mackenzie Dern in good enough fashion. It's an amazing. It's gonna be good. I mean, it's a good like final prelim card because that'll really kind of shake up the strawweight division and see where who stands where and what matches to make and more facets than even these 2 fighters. So it's gonna be interesting. Well, there you have it, man. That's good. We found some agreements, found some disagreements. It's a perfect little clash. We don't hate each other. That's perfect. Going, hey, you know what? You're fucking wrong. Because I'm sure
bragging rights on 2 fights.
There will be, exactly. There will be some. The beginning and the end. I like that. Just right at the end. That's good style clash, man.
Yeah, that first fight gonna kind of decide like who. If Kopylov wins that fight, I'm gonna be like, man, Topuria better win that main event. So I got some kind of leverage. But man, my money's going down. I'll show you. I'll text you a picture of my card just so you know I'm not full of shit.
Cool.
And it will go. But it sucks because at that first fight, if Kopylov wins, my whole parlay shot.
That's the parlay world, man. That is the parlay world. That's a big problem, man. God, it's I mean, I kind of hedge. I mean, I do little with the parlay because they're just so hard to hit. I mean, I put like $5 on the last one. I won about like $82 off of 5. So I was like, that's good. Of course, you're like, if only you put a 0 there. That's how the gambling line goes. Well,
I'll do a second ticket too with just the 3 that we have in common.
Okay.
I'll do a couple tickets. I'm going to do the 50-50 and then I'll throw another 50 just on the 3 that we picked.
You crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. That's legit. And something actually, if you are available like on Sunday, I did one on Sunday on the way to the Super Bowl party, but we can just get on real quick and be like, hey, here is like we can own our losses. Like, if Hernandez wins or Topuria wins, I can be like, hey, bro, I fucked up. I was wrong, because that's what I like about it. You can really own your mistake and even learn, because betting, man, it's not easy, dude. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
I like I said, I never claimed to be what's that guy's name? The old sports guy that got in trouble. I can't remember. He used to be on the news, and then he said something inappropriate, and they got rid of him. But this old dude, I don't claim to be an expert in sports betting. I just love fights. And if I
Jimmy,
put a little money
the Greek?
on it, Jimmy the Greek, that was the guy.
Yeah. Jimmy the Greek. Yeah.
I'm Jimmy the Pollock. Okay, Richie the Pollock.
There we go. Hey, that's a new character.
Yeah. So I don't claim to be any special, but I and I'm not a gambling. I don't gamble like a lot. I play poker, but it's fun when you got a little on the line. You cheer a little harder. You have
Boy,
more
do
fun.
you.
It hurts a little worse when you lose.
It does, man. It definitely does. Those are the hardest.
Yeah.
well,
So anytime you want me here, man, just pop in, and I'll even just shoot you my picks. You can laugh about them online.
Yeah.
And,
no, definitely, man. I mean,
man.
Yeah, no, and the fact you got the tickets going, dude. I mean, that adds stakes to this podcast right here. Going like, okay, this guy. I mean, I'll put up some stakes, but man, I'm like, I gotta build my bankroll first. Where your mouth is. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure, man. Well, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, go ahead.
And then if I could just promote a little something this Sunday, we're talking about Sunday. I got a comedy show. It's for a great cause.
Richie Spichala is
Richie
the name.
Spichala. And I'm going to be performing with Sam Miller, Tana Manu, and Lynette Manning. And
very funny people.
Really excellent, yeah.
Very funny people.
It's a little intimidating to be doing comedy with those people, but I don't mind. I'm going to have some fun. It's the Pink Taco Comedy Benefit Dinner. It's benefiting the AOG Motorcycle Club. This is a motorcycle club that dedicates their whole existence to helping people get sober. To helping them with treatment, to do everything they can for other people. And so anybody that's willing to do that, I'm here to help. So please show up. You can look on my Facebook, Rich White. You can look on Richie Spichala. You could look at probably any of those other comedians that I mentioned will probably promoting it. It's 5:30 p.m. It's free dinner, not free dinner. I think it's $45, but you get tacos. They're going to be feeding us. The show starts at 7 p.m. Okay, and it's at the Tillicum Library in Lakewood.
Okay.
So show up if you can.
For sure.
If you show up, I'll buy you a taco.
Hell yeah! All right, I'm already there. I'm a slut for tacos, man.
Right on.
That's good, man. That is good. That's is that Jeremy Lamont?
Yes. Yeah, that's my good friend Jeremy throwing that. He's part of that organization.
Shout out to Jeremy.
And I'm giving away a tattoo. We're giving away a tattoo there, so there's another reason to come by.
If you don't know, I mean, look at this guy's wall. You can see his wall and and see that you draw all those, right? You painted them, yeah. Drawing, painting, for sure.
Forgot about that one. That one.
I lost you.
That's Mark Hunt.
Oh, there we go.
Stefan Struve.
Oh, okay. With the walk off, right?
Away.
Yeah. No, that's sick, man. But yeah, no, that's so you got tattoos, you got tacos, you got comedy. So definitely show up for that. Yeah, actually, so I got something going on. I guess I'll plug it too. Federal Way, I'm doing my first produced show, doing a showcase at Jersey's Sports Bar in Federal Way. That's the 24th. Be having some of my very funny friends, just literally people I didn't even cast out anything. I was just like, hey, you're funny, and definitely will have you on the list here shortly. Hopefully, if this show goes good, I'll be doing opener, feature, headliner, man, and we'll definitely be working together regardless.
What day of the week is the 24th?
Saturday.
It's a Saturday?
Saturday, the 24th. Be $5 at the door. And, it's just going to be just a great time. They got great food. It's just, order anything and it's all fresh, all quality. So that's what's going on in my area of the world. Otherwise, UFC 298. This has been the MMA Precap. Thank you so much for listening, enjoying, watching. Rich, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I will definitely have you on some other time. So
cool. I'm excited. I'll be watching even if I'm not on.
There we go. We'll get it and talk to you guys soon. Take care.
All right on. Take care. See you, Petey.